Back in the day, Ellen, that many people believe are exposing a much darker side. Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell were known as very close friends in Hollywood. But now, Rosie is making comments of Ellen and her connections in. Some people online even believe Rosie is revealing secrets inside powerful Hollywood circles.
And Ellen said, "I don't know Rosie. We're not friends." And that was like one of the most painful things that ever happened to me.
Connected to Jeffrey Epstein and his private island, Rosie has spoken many times about how disappointed she became with Hollywood over the years. She said she realized things were happening in the entertainment world that never should have happened. She also said the Hollywood she imagined growing up was completely different from the real Hollywood she later experienced. Rosie explained protecting each other behind closed doors. She explained that powerful people, like Ellen in particular, rarely know when to call it quits.
I thought of you when Ellen DeGeneres went through her thing, and she goes, "My advice to everybody is, if you're going to be known as something, being known as the be kind lady is probably going to bite you in the ass." And I wondered what that whole queen
explained that celebrity culture became filled with excess, bad behavior, and powerful people
of nice.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
did bite
thinking,
me in the ass. Yeah.
Did you think it bit you in the ass? I wasn't aware of that, but
not in the way that Ellen's talking about, I think. But I said the day it came out, look at this, the Queen of Nice. In a couple of years, it's going to be the Queen of Lice, the Queen of Fried Rice. The Queen of we don't like her anymore. I have an understanding of the cycle of
ugly celebrity culture had become. According to her, the glamorous image sold to fans was hiding something much darker underneath. As Ellen's daytime talk show became more successful, Rosie watched Ellen enter a completely different level of celebrity life. Ellen started spending time with billionaires, celebrities who flew on private jets, and people connected to exclusive parties and private islands. Rosie watched Ellen slowly
show business and kind of what happens in people's careers and when enough is enough. And oftentimes people don't know that.
She pointed to scandals involving famous celebrities and said these stories needed to be talked about openly instead of ignored. Rosie believed the public was finally starting to see how Lee drift away from the regular people who knew her before fame changed everything. This is something Anne Hitchett confirmed too.
Ellen was far from nice. We're out there for years. What was your reaction to the toxic workplace controversy?
I felt that it was in the hands of the people who needed to speak their truth. I hadn't spoken to Ellen in years, and I feel that the stories that need to be listened to are being told.
Did the stuff about her being emotionally abusive to her staff ring true to you?
Emotionally abusive is a container for our actions that we've not healed. And unfortunately, the abusive environment was something that I understood.
When did you know you needed to break things off with Ellen?
I think it was a slow roll when you come to understand the truth of another. I wanted desperately to have that relationship be the love of my life. That was my Cinderella story. What happened was that I was, through the circumstances, shut out from things that I cared about, and in order to make her feel that she was being loved, I would erase those things from my path, such as acting, and replace them with things that I thought would give her a foundation. As we got further and further away from me being able to be in public the way that would please, I began getting further and further away from my friends and my friendships. And one of the things that concerned me very much was that I was beginning to feel shut off and shut down and shut away. And if this answers the question, and I told Ellen that I needed to have friends, she said she did not want to have a girlfriend that needed that.
Rosie later suggested she knew far more about Ellen's private lifestyle than the public realized. She hinted at private trips, secret gatherings, and powerful Hollywood circles that ordinary people never got to see. According to Rosie, Ellen became deeply connected to elite celebrity culture while leaving old friendships behind.
Larry King asked her, and Kelly and I were in bed watching it, and he asked her, "Whatever happened to Rosie O'Donnell? Her show went down the tubes." And Ellen said, "I don't know Rosie. We're not friends." And that was like one of the most painful things that ever happened to me in show business in my life. I couldn't believe it.
Why did she say that?
I don't know, because I have photos of her holding my newborn babies. I knew her for 30 years. Like, I don't know Rosie, we're not friends. It was so upsetting to me that I had T-shirts made. I don't know Rosie, we're not
The
friends.
way she treated people behind the scenes. For years, Ellen built her brand around kindness, positivity, and making people smile. Every episode of her show pushed the message to be kind. But many former employees and guests later came forward with complaints about how they were treated while working on the show.
This TV producer is speaking out on camera for the first time about what it was like working for Ellen DeGeneres.
Toxic, phony, hypocrite, liar. That's what she is.
Hedda Muscat was with Ellen from the beginning in 2003 when the talk show was launched.
We were told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't go into her office. It was very nerve-wracking, very stressful. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
Muscat says despite Ellen's Queen of Nice reputation, it became clear early on that it would not be a pleasant place to work. One incident with executive producer Ed Glavin left her shaken.
We were in our production meetings and she would watch Ed go off on people.
And I gave them out to my staff because it was very painful. And, we've never sort of gotten over it.
Did she ever reach out to you to explain it or what her thinking was, or?
No.
I mean, I'm not the first person to say this, but she's a strange creature.
Well, we're not similar. I can say that for sure.
Rosie explained that after decades of friendship, Ellen erased their relationship in just one sentence. From that point on, Rosie said she felt betrayed and stopped staying silent about what she had seen happen around Ellen over the years. Rosie also claimed that Ellen's public image did not match the...
Ellen would look at Ed and she would laugh because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at crew this way. You can't be yelling at people this way. She laughed and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Ed is her dog.
Like her attack dog.
Her attack dog, so therefore she doesn't need to do that. He took the role of being the attack dog that she didn't have to now be the attack dog. So she didn't have to yell.
So when Ellen says she's not aware of this environment, you don't think that rings true?
It's a lie.
Muscat won 2 daytime Emmys with the show. She was let go in 2004.
As a host, she's amazing. As a host. But as a boss, and someone who's behind the scenes running the show, she's a different person. She's not the person people see in front of the camera.
Do you think anything will change?
No, because she should have apologized 16 years ago. This environment, this toxic culture that she created in the office has been going on for 16 years.
Stories started spreading about toxic behavior behind the scenes, with people claiming the work environment was far tension online. She left the United States and moved to Ireland. She said she did this because none other than Donald Trump was after her for being outspoken about his alleged crimes.
As a visitor, you're here for the long haul, you're applying for citizenship. What made you up sticks from the States and join us?
Well, there's the President of the United States that has it out for me and has for 20 years when I told the truth about him on a program called The View, where it was my job to talk about pop culture.
Different from the happy image shown on television. Rosie suggested that the way Ellen treated her personally was similar to the way many staff members later described being treated. According to Rosie, Ellen was willing to cut people off completely once they no longer benefited her image or career. Then Rosie made a shocking decision that grabbed
politics, and I mentioned his bankruptcies, and I mentioned all of the sexual charges, and I mentioned that he was not, in fact, the businessman that everyone thinks he is because of the show The Apprentice, where they sold a bunch of lies to America for over 10 years and half of America believed it. And so he was very angry, to say the least.
Yes.
And he hasn't let it go, and he sort of uses me as a punchline whenever he feels the need.
After arriving there, she posted a statement online beside a photo of Jeffrey Epstein. That immediately caused speculation online, with many believing Rosie was hinting that she was finally ready to speak openly about Hollywood connections tied to Epstein's world. People online began saying Rosie was sending a warning message to powerful celebrities connected to those elite circles. According to these rumors, Rosie had spent decades watching things happen behind closed doors and was finally prepared to expose what she knew. Not long after that, Ellen suddenly responded publicly to Rosie in a friendly way, After years of distance between them, Ellen shared Rosie's post online and praised her publicly. Many people found the timing suspicious because Ellen had ignored Rosie for nearly 20 years after denying their friendship on television. Online commentators claimed Ellen was trying to repair the relationship before more information could come out. But around the same time, newly released Epstein-related documents caused another wave of controversy online. Ellen's name reportedly appeared among hundreds of other high-profile individuals listed in broader investigative materials connected to the Epstein case, including flight logs, communications, interviews, and other records.
Ellen has reportedly been diagnosed with Kuru, K-U-R-U, a rare fatal disease linked directly to, say it, cancer, and now she's going blind. A former producer from The Ellen Show has broken his silence.
Right.
This is how it begins.
Now I hear she's got Kuru, starting to go blind and shit. Could be the syphilis too, though.
I will read to you what this person has said, a former producer. Calm as a bitch. That crazy ass one was out there feeding people SHIT and not telling nobody where it came from. He said, you'll like this, I'm a picky eater, bruh. Whole foods, organic and all that. I don't do sprays, no chemicals, none of that. I need to know exactly what I'm putting in my body and where it came from. So when I finally found out what was in them dumplings, I was shocked with my goddamn life. But by the end of that night, I found out everybody knows. I'm telling you, it's an open secret, but people are scared of her.
As people started reading through those documents, many online began connecting old stories back to Ellen, like the Wayfair cabinet conspiracy, for example. During that controversy, people online noticed industrial cabinets being sold on the furniture website Wayfair for insanely high prices. Some cabinets cost tens of thousands of dollars, even though similar products should have only cost a few $100s.
There was a conspiracy theory that surfaced in 2020 that some furniture on Wayfair had human names and prices well over what the furniture piece would be worth. Think $9,000 for a wooden table. The furniture had similar photos with just different girls' names and different pricing. Would a global tracking ring really use Wayfair.com as their front, given it's literally hidden in plain sight?
No, I remember that.
Me too.
Fully believe that.
Me too.
I'm sorry, okay.
It was an Ashley table for 20
and
grand.
The names, if there was like something where the code of the product, you look it up and then it was literally the code of a missing person with the same name. So like, for example, if it was the Ashley table and then the SKU number on the Wayfair website, you look it up, it's like Ashley Fernandez, missing since whatever.
Literally in plain sight.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay.
And why is it so expensive?
And the people that are like, okay, would Wayfair really use that as like a front for human? You guys are stupid. Why is the Ashley table $13,000 when the same table is on there for $90?
Riddle me that, Wayfair.
Or the people that are doubting it. It's like,
100%.
explain that then.
No, 100%.
Literally explain it because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. There weren't one. There was like 40 products.
Yeah, and it was like pillows for like $20,000.
Yes.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that was crazy.
That was wild.
And I fully believe that. I can't believe that nothing ever happened from that.
Me either.
And I remember Wayfair came out with like a super snarky remark of like, this is stupid, basically. Just like gaslighting everyone. And I'm just like, I don't believe you for a second.
Some people claimed the expensive listings were being used for money laundering, while others pushed even darker theories involving illegal human transportation networks hidden behind online transactions. Another rumor doing the rounds about her was that she may be a secret cannibal and may have constantly talked about her obsession with pizza as a sick inside joke with Epstein.
And so if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? Mark? All right. Too large? What do you think? I'm going to order some pizza. That's what I'll do.
Pizza, pizza, pizza. Send pizza to Bobby. What does a gynecologist and a pizza boy have in common? They can smell it, but they can't eat it. May I bring in your slice of pizza to you? Pizza party was great. We had a lot of fun, stayed late. We all slept in yesterday morning. Your night was good? Also up there, spoof on Chandelier, the video I sent you with the amazing little girl dance. If you take a look at the recent emails released by the DOJ/FBI dealing with Jeffrey Epstein, a lot of people have been pointing out that there are hundreds of messages that reference pizza. And some of these messages just don't really make sense. For example, right here you can see in 2016 an email was sent to Epstein, subject the pizza monster. Jeffrey wrote, "She looks pregnant," and the person responded, "We don't know who that was. You mean radiating a soft glow with a look of bliss and excitement? Yeah, that's the pizza. So what that means, we still don't know. There are also a few references in these emails to pizza and grape soda. As you can see here, Harry Fish writes to Jeffrey Epstein in 2018, "What time do you want to get pizza and grape soda tomorrow?" In a different thread of messages, this same guy sends Epstein a photograph of a slice of pizza with a bottle of grape soda. And he references this again. First we get a slice of pizza with grape soda, then the Pop-Tart. In a different message chain, he messages Epstein again and says, "Pizza and grape soda, nuff said." And then on a different date, I don't know if this is the same Harry guy sending this to Epstein, but an email is sent to Epstein that states, "This is better than a Chinese cookie, see attached. Let's go for pizza and grape soda again. No one else can understand. Go no." You can see there are so many messages referencing pizza. A lot of people think that this is obviously code speak. I wanted to let you know the crew really appreciated the pizza today. Thank you for letting us do that. And then there's a disturbing headline on these emails between Ehud Barak, the former Prime Minister of Israel, and Jeffrey Epstein, where the subject is slicing a pizza. Obviously, that's kind of morbid sounding. There are also a chain of messages that seem to show Epstein sending someone to get an actual mold made of their butt cheeks so that he can make ass pizza. I mean, just pause these messages and read them for yourself.
That's not all. One person has even claimed that Ellen has some almost supernatural qualities, and Ellen's name repeatedly came up during those conversations.
John?
Yeah, who's this?
It's Ellen.
Oh, hi, Ellen.
What's going on?
Not much. Here's Chrissy, too.
Hey! Hey, Chrissy, what's going on?
Nothing. Just with the kids. Oh, hi, Miles. Say hi. Hi.
Hi, Miles.
Say hi, Ellen.
Hey, say hi. So you have kids. I wish I had kids right now. I'm so bored.
Yeah, we're bored, too. We're super bored.
Yeah.
Then another theory exploded online involving the design of Ellen's talk show set itself. People started comparing photos of the buildings on Epstein Island to the set used on the Ellen DeGeneres show. The similarities immediately caught attention online. Viewers pointed out the blue and white color patterns, the tropical design, palm trees, and architectural style that they claimed looked extremely similar to the so-called temple building on Epstein Island.
Look at it.
Oh, well, you know where that is too, right? It's a similar image to that, right?
No.
I know Jamie does.
What is it?
It's on the set of a famous talk show that's now not on anymore.
Oh, Ellen? Was that Ellen?
Yeah.
Really?
Just look at the temple and then look at the...
Let me see Ellen's background. What? Oh, similar. That looks like a building, though. Like
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Is that a building in LA? That might be a building in LA.
Then people started focusing on Ellen suddenly selling off expensive property and artwork. Huge pieces from her art collection reportedly went up for sale, including works by Jean-Michel Basquiat and expensive sculptures worth millions of dollars. According to the theories spreading online, people believed Ellen was trying to liquidate assets quickly before things became worse. One of her massive California properties reportedly sold for nearly $100 million. Other homes connected to Ellen and her wife Portia de Rossi also went up for sale around the same time. Online commentators claimed the quick sales looked more like panic than normal celebrity business decisions. According to those theorists, Ellen knew Epstein-related documents and investigations were getting closer to powerful Hollywood names, and people online claimed she wanted
But Mr. Shin here thought he could make some big money in the media industry, so he created 7M. And boy, has he made some money. Not only have they appeared on the Ellen DeGeneres show multiple times, they also did a halftime show, worked with Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, Snoop Dogg, you name it, they probably worked with them. Enters this couple. Now, this is James and Miranda Derrick, okay? The documentary was mostly about Miranda, but James plays a huge role. James runs 7M. So remember how I said they collabed with a lot of famous artists? Well, they also collabed with Twitch and his wife, Allison. Now, as we all know, Twitch's passing was kind of mysterious. But let's take a look at the date. It happened on December 13th, 2022. Now, one of the first collabs video he did with 7M was in January 28th of 2022. So a year later, he was gone. So interesting enough, to be associated with the Shekinah Church or its entities, you have to sign an agreement. So according to the testimonies of ex-members and the recordings of Robert Shin, the church encourages members to, end quote, die to themselves, end quote, and to their families. Now what I'm wondering is, did Twitch sign that agreement? Now again, let's look at the date. Twitch tragically passed away December 13th, 2022. Well, guess whose show was canceled 5 months?
There has been attention surrounding the very suspicious deaths of many people around Ellen. One example is Stephen Twitch Boss, the longtime DJ from Ellen's show. During the workplace scandal, Ellen reportedly relied on Twitch to publicly defend her and reassure people that everything behind the scenes was fine. After his tragic death in 2022, online speculation exploded. Some internet commentators claim the pressure of defending Ellen during the scandal may have deeply affected him emotionally. Others pushed even darker theories, suggesting he knew too much about Hollywood secrets connected to powerful celebrities.
What if I told you there was a correlation between 7M, Twitch's passing, and the end of Ellen DeGeneres? Well, strap up because I'm about to blow your minds. So everyone's talking about the new documentary on Netflix, Dancing for the Devil. Well, this documentary is way deeper than you think.
Before more information surfaced. According to journalists like Whitney Webb, Epstein's web went very far and wide, and it is likely that Ellen may have been a part of it.
He gets taken out. I mean,
And remember, Epstein was busted a first time and got heavy protection. And a lot of times history, not just for people like Epstein, think about, banks, for example. I mean, there's histories where banks have gotten into trouble one time and they've been bailed out once, but they don't bail them out a second time or stuff like that. I mean, it's hard to continually risking that big cover up over and over and over again. As if it's the same entity or person, it just becomes easier to get rid of them. And so what I pointed out at the end of the book is, I and we've talked about this before, how there was this move from the sex blackmail in the early 2000s and all this stuff, which is the years that most people focus on for Epstein. There was a move into Silicon Valley. Epstein's courting of Edge, Ghislaine Maxwell going to these Kleiner Perkins, which is a major Silicon Valley venture capital function, her getting married to Scott Borgeson, who runs a tech startup that's funded by Google's Eric Schmidt. Her hanging out with Jeff Bezos, why does Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Reid Hoffman, Elon Musk, I mean, pretty much every head of a major big tech company has some sort of Epstein or Maxwell tie. Yeah. So why is that? Well, I think they knew because the government and the intelligence agencies knew that the future was electronic blackmail, because then you don't have to invest money in a tracking operation and maintaining residences with pinhole cameras. You don't have the liability. You can just find dirt on someone in their digital footprint. And, you type their name in the right database and you have all the dirt on them in the world, because we're all being illegally surveilled by the NSA and the government. And so they can just blackmail everyone whenever they want. And so that essentially means that people like Maxwell and Epstein stop becoming assets to protect, and they become liabilities because they know a lot of stuff, right? And so they don't need people like that anymore. They needed people like that for several decades, as I point out in the book. I mean, this practice goes back a really long time, and it was really first brought into its own by organized crime. And then,
like Epstein.
Now it all starts with this man, Robert Shin. Robert Shin is the owner of the talent management company, also known as 7M Films. He is also the owner of the Shekinah Church. Now the Shekinah Church does not have a good reputation. They've had tons of lawsuits ranging from human trafficking to breaking labor laws and so on. Later, Ellen DeGeneres on May 26, 2022. The fact that Twitch, his wife, Ellen, 7M were all so closely related and this all happened is just crazy to me. It also makes a lot of sense why Ellen's been hiding out and no one's heard a word from her until her upcoming comedy tour all of a sudden.
People who admired Twitch described him as someone who always brought positive energy and joy wherever he went. That made the rumors surrounding his death even more emotional for fans online. Then there was the case of Anne Heche, Ellen's former girlfriend. Anne passed away after a horrific car crash in 2022, but online rumors quickly started claiming she had supposedly been working on a documentary exposing parts of her past relationship with Ellen and the Hollywood world around her. Those rumors spread rapidly online, with conspiracy channels claiming Anne knew damaging information connected to Hollywood elites. Old interviews between Anne and Ellen resurfaced, and people started analyzing every detail of their past relationship for hidden meaning.
Anne Heche explained how she was silenced by Ellen DeGeneres. Right before Anne Heche passed away, after 20 years, she finally started exposing the truth about what happened between her and Ellen. In the early 2000s, on the same day that Ellen and Anne broke up, it was reported all over the news stations that Anne had a nervous breakdown and she was actually hospitalized. And finally, after 20 years, Anne Heche said in this interview that Ellen was trying to silence her and she was actually the one that put her into the mental institution. She also explained how Ellen had her blackballed from Hollywood and pretty much ruined her career. And a lot of people found it really suspicious that Anne Heche started talking about abuse and how when you catch wind of it, you basically have to separate yourself, and how basically that we've all been lied to for years. And Anne Heche actually did 2 interviews on Ellen, and each time they were getting deeper and deeper and she was revealing more and more information. And a lot of people thought that Anne Heche was actually getting ready to expose Ellen for being involved in and honestly, this doesn't surprise me because who Ellen surrounds herself with, but even Oprah was brought up in this interview with Anne Heche. They talked about how Oprah actually cut Anne Heche out of the 20th year anniversary celebration of Ellen coming out when Anne Heche was actually in here with Ellen because Anne Heche is the one that started Ellen's coming out journey. And a lot of people, even like me, have always said that Anne Heche's death just never made sense. The firefighters had her in a body bag and then she popped out of it. And then just a couple of days later, she was actually taken off life support. And a lot of people have always wondered if Ellen was somehow involved in this because they found it super weird that Anne Heche finally started talking after 20 years, exposing Ellen, and then something weird like this happened to her. But I'm going to go ahead and roll you guys this clip of everything that Anne Heche had to say about Ellen silencing her over the years, and you guys let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments.
There's one question people want to know, what do I think about Ellen? And in fact, I haven't said that yet. I have not rambled on about her for one single moment. For 20 years, I have withheld my understanding. I have been canceled since the day I was born. I've been buried since the day I was born. Every single truth that I spoke, I was hit more, buried more, fucked more, or despised more, and then had calculated visions and circulations of systems that spun me up and out of the system that would in any way challenge the fact that she was not telling her own truth but another's. Why do you think she tried to put me in an institution, folks? I called my mother. Guess what? 2 people who wanted more than anything to have my truth buried. It was not my timing. I did not and could not ask God for what that would be.
At the same time, reports started coming out about how Ellen was being received in England after relocating there, with Portia de Rossi. According to rumors online, some local residents in the countryside reportedly were not happy about wealthy celebrities moving into the quiet area and disrupting the culture and privacy of the community. This has led many people to question just what sort of person Ellen really is. Do you think she's capable of all the things being alleged? Let us know in the comments below.